Welcome on back to Skippers. Today we are looking at 3 players I am looking to sell right now in fantasy baseball. To me, it's guys who definitely have some value, but the expected statistics don't agree with how well they have been performing to this point of the season. Today's video is sponsored by So Rare. Please subscribe and join the Discord. Let's get into the 3 players. First, we are going to look at Shane Bieber of the Guardian. So far this season, the counting stats have him at 3-2, a 3.2 ERA, 56 and a third innings pitched, 43 strikeouts, and a 1.22 whip. So expected batting average, expected slug, and most importantly, expected weighted on base average tell the story of a player season based on quality and amount of contact, not the outcome. So we're going to take a look at Shane Bieber's actual stats versus his expected stats. So his batting average against is 258, expected batting average against of 291. Its actual slug against 401 with an expected slug of 464. WOBA 307 against and an expected WOBA of 346. Again, the 3.20 ERA, but his expected ERA is 5.04. His Ks per 9 have dropped from 12.5 in 2021 all the way to 6.87 this season, with fastball velocity that has dropped nearly 3 miles an hour since the bubble season. Bieber's solid at limiting free passes, and his ability to pitch to contact works in Cleveland with their solid defense, but the righty is getting hit extremely hard this season. I think we are due for some even more regression here. Again, I think you guys are going to look at some of these numbers with the hard contact he's given up and kind of be shocked as to how good his numbers have been despite all of these. Average exit velocity against 2nd percentile, hard hit percentage 6th percentile. Again, we've gone through the expected ERA, expected batting average. K percentage in the 23rd percentile, barrel percentage in the 39th percentile, whiff percentage in the 36th percentile, and fastball velocity in the 6th percentile, which doesn't really matter because his fastball spin is in the 73rd percentile, but still. It's really tough this year to find consistent starting pitching that's going deep into games and limiting runs on a half-decent team. And even after his last bad start, I think that his batting average on balls in play will go up, and these numbers are going to begin to inflate. It's hard to be super successful in Major League Baseball when you're giving up this much hard contact consistently and having a tough time striking people out as well. Shane Bieber's a great arm, but I think he's kind of come to the end of his leash here, and maybe I'd be surprised if the guards are sellers at the deadline here, but who knows how that will go. I think Shane Bieber, the stats have looked pretty good on the surface, but a little bit cause for concern. I'm willing to sell him off at this point. Second player is James Outman of the Dodgers so far this season. 264 average, 9 home runs, 27 runs batted in, 5 stolen bases, and a 903 OPS. His actual stats are great, but let's take a look at the actual stats versus the expected stats and see what story they tell. His batting average is 264, but an expected batting average of 225. Of course, you can be super valuable in other aspects of creating runs without a good batting average, but it's still interesting to see. His slug is 549, but his expected slug is only 420. He has a weighted on-base average of 385, but the expected weighted on-base average is 326. You look at his percentile rankings, and I thought, okay, maybe this is a junior Joey Gallo type, and it is just the complete opposite. He does not hit the ball hard that often, which is a surprise to me with an okay barrel percentage, especially in the 82nd percentile. So his average exit velocity, 47th percentile, hard hit percentage, 60th percentile, expected weighted on base average, 50th percentile, the expected batting average, 20th percentile. We know that it wasn't great. His K percentage is the 5th percentile. He's walking the 59th percentile, and a whiff rate in the 1st percentile. Elmer struggles to make a lot of contact, but when he does do it, it's usually pretty loud. His whiff rate is horrible. His zone contact percentage is piss poor at 68.7%. There is something to be said about James Outman's ability to drive in runs in clutch situations, as he has a weighted runs created plus of 298 in high leverage situations and 205 with men on base. I think it's league average right at 100 with no one on. I think there will be some James Outman regression, and we've seen a little bit. Well, he's 7 for his last 37. He has 2 home runs in that time. The strikeout rate is pretty crazy. He isn't making consistent hard contact, and he's running a high batting average on balls in play. It is interesting because it is a guy who's very well in the running for NL Rookie of the Year. James Outman is a good player, but I think we're getting some of the best outcomes from him so far to start this season. I think we're due for a little bit of regression. We are back on So Rare MLB, the best way to play a nice little alternative with fantasy baseball for free. Now we are going to go into the private contest. We have created one. I'll have the link in the bio. I'll have the link in the comments as well. You're going to get to play against me for a game week. It's going to run from the Mondays to the Thursdays, not this Monday, but the Monday after that. The link will be there ready for you guys to enter into the contest. And the winner of this contest will get a free subscription for the rest of the year for MLB TV. Who doesn't like MLB TV? Being able to watch all of the games. You take your cards, we'll play for a single game week, and whoever wins a free subscription to MLB TV. Don't think there's a better way to play for free. take your players, put them up against me. You'll see how I do. My private contest. Play against me on So Rare MLB, and we'll see how you guys stack up. And finally, we have Patrick Sandoval of the Angels. He's 3-2, a 3.22 ERA. He's pitched 44 2/3. He only has 31 strikeouts and a WHIP of 1.16. Again, let's look at the actual stats versus the expected stats. So his batting average against is 212. He has an expected batting average against of 262. Slug against of 324. Expected slug at 409. WOBA of 273 against to an expected WOBA of 326. His ERA 3.22, but his expected ERA almost a run and a half worse at 4.41. The FIP is 4 and the XFIP is 4.63. Unlike Shane Bieber, Patrick Sandoval has been able to limit some hard contacts, but there are just some things kind of just bouncing his way consistently that makes me think regression is on the way. He's running the lowest batting average of balls in play of his career by a solid margin at 239. His home run to fly ball rate is only at 7.1%. His command is still spotty at times, leading to a walks per 9 of 3.22, and his strikeouts per 9 is only at 6.25. You look at the percentile rankings, average exit velocity against 76th percentile, hard hit percentage at 76th percentile again, but then you look at the K rate, barrel rate, the barrel rate's 48th percentile, K percentage 13th percentile, fastball spin 5th percentile, velocity 33rd percentile, and whiff percentage 68th percentile. So these numbers aren't like crazy off the charts where like, let's get this guy off my team immediately, but he has revamped his pitch usage from years past, throwing a slider 33% of the time, but the put away percentage on the pitch has dropped 15 points from last year. I still think he's a solid arm, but I think this might be the best Patrick Sandoval we're going to see at this point, and I am probably happy to sell him off at this point. Thank you again for watching the video. Thank you to So Rare for sponsoring it. Don't forget to join into that private contest. See if you can beat me. Got some nice prizes that you can win there. Subscribe, join the Discord, and I'll see you guys for Must Add tomorrow.